Tonight we have a wonderful presentation called Choosing a Photography Website. And we have a panel of distinguished photographers and very wise people. We'll have Russ, Christine, Rick, Judith, and Cheryl telling us about the websites that they've chosen. So let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you, Heidi.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we each are going to talk a little bit about our websites, show you our websites, and take a couple of questions. And then when we're all done, we will take questions as a group back here at the table if you have more questions that come up. So we're going to start off with Judith. So Judith, you want to come up and, or you can stay there if you want. I'm going to operate the slides. And Judith is going to talk about SmugMug, Russ about Art Storefront, me about Zenfolio, Rick about Fine Art America, and Christine Pence about 500 PX. Okay.
Okay, so when we were getting ready to do this, we were given some questions answered, which was helpful to kind of channel our thoughts a little bit. I will say that I've been using SmugMug as my website for about 15 years. I have a long history with it. One of the questions was, why did we choose the website that we chose or the host that we chose? And at the time that I did that 15 years ago, I really didn't know much of anything about websites or where to go. And I'd heard this SmugMug was photography. So I went online and checked it out, and it seemed pretty interesting. It gave a chance to try it out free for a brief period of time. And you could try setting up your website and see if you liked it, if you liked the way it worked and how things looked and so on. And then if you wanted to, after that, then you would, start your official account and you would choose what level of participation you wanted and which template you wanted to use to show off your work and so on. And so the fact that it was designed specifically for photography, I like that, seeing I didn't know much about setting up a website anyway. Had the free trial, and I found it pretty easy to set up for someone that was kind of a dummy about this sort of stuff. It's definitely a learning curve anytime that you're doing work in something like this, but it was the kind of thing you could pretty much put things into the template. And if you didn't like it, you could take it back out and change the way you wanted. They take care of it entirely. They use 2 or 3 different labs, and you can pick which lab you want. And then you set your prices. They tell you what they're going to take, and then you can set your prices above that. Then you can change your price list anytime that you want. I've been kind of lazy about it. I haven't really made any changes for a long time as far as that part's concerned. And but they do have a good customer service. They do webinars talking about good suggestions for promoting your work and things like that. I've never had any trouble with them. I will say that they've changed some in the 15 years that I've been there. Some of their policies, some of the things that they do, and I've changed my needs and my interests and so on. So I'm not sure that it's quite as good a fit for me as it was at one time, but by darn, I'm really in there. It's really hard to decide not to be in there and so on. And so for the moment, anyway, that's where I am. I also will talk briefly about Flickr as an alternate. I did actually start a website with Flickr as well. Flickr is owned by SmugMug, but it's a completely different concept. Cheryl's been with Flickr for forever. Cheryl Callahan's been with forever. She knows it way better than I know it. But I did go ahead and transfer a lot of my photos over to Flickr. And I thought I might do that entirely and leave SmugMug, but I really have developed a bit of a community of people that I follow, and people from all over the world and all over the country, and we have a lot of communication. We show our work to each other. And I sort of decided I didn't want to lose that community. So for the right now, for the present time, I've got Flickr and SmugMug. Flickr is cheaper, but you can't sell off the site. But you can show your work, and I like some of the things about it a lot. You can join, there are many groups, which SmugMug doesn't have. There are lots of groups, and you can join different groups and show your work in many different groups, so it gets out to actually a lot of people and so on. So I find some really very inspiring work there on the Flickr site. How do I get it to go to the next page? Oh, okay. There wasn't another. There was the one with the money.
Oh, that's later.
Oh, then there. Okay.
Do you want to show your site?
Yes.
Okay, here.
Sure.
It's a little dance.
Okay. Is it up there? Yeah, it's up there. Okay. All right. So if you were to go to my website right now, this is kind of what it would look like. This is the particular template that I have chosen. There are many different ways to do it. I found that this one sort of showed off my work, and I was pretty happy with it. When I'm logged in, there's all kinds of little things that I can click on and make changes and do things and upload and so on. This is how it would be if you were just to go online and look for it, and I'm not logged, and you can't see what I can see when I go into it. But this is basically how I have my setup. You can see I've got flowers and travel and art and Redlands. I pull Redlands gallery and people, nature, so on. And I find that if you don't have too many things on the front of your screen when it pulls up, it's a little easier to find things. You can go ahead and put other things in, like here, for example, here in nature, I have birds. Nobody knew I'd have a bird gallery. And then I have what I call nature's creatures, which then can be broken down into insects, animals, and then sea life. And so, go back. And then birds. I have lots of galleries because I have lots of bird pictures. And so that way I can, it more easily organizes the way my photos are. And I don't have to look all over the place to try to figure out where the water birds are or where the woodpeckers are and so on. So, you know, and then you can go and you can check out all the many, many woodpeckers that exist that I have seen and photographed. I've not seen you move that down very well. But anyway, I find it's a really good way to kind of organize organize your photos. You can at any time, you can download any of them. So if you can't find where you put that darn photo, we've all written that. If it's on my website, I can download it and you can keep it in a large image size, or you can shrink them down. I like to keep them large so that they're usable photos for whatever I want to do and so on. So that'll just give you, I do have here what I call recent uploads. And this is the one that kind of has lots and lots of things that I do on a regular basis, where I upload daily. I actually upload a photograph every day. And so, you know, so it keeps me shooting and keeps me looking for new things to do. And this is kind of where my community is, where we all put something on every day. And so we look at each other's photographs and so on. So I'm actually in contact with these people. We comment on each other's stuff. And I know the name of their dogs and their kids and their grandkids and all that sort of thing. And that was what I was kind of unwilling to let go of and go to Flickr, where nobody knows me at all and so on. So this is how, and then each time you do one of these things, you know, you can go ahead and you can enlarge it to whatever size you want and so on. So anyway, this is the basically the way that I do it. I try to make it as easy as possible for people to see things. But I must admit, I'm not really promoting myself at this point. You know, I'm 85 years old, or almost 85 years old, and I just don't really care too much if I'm selling stuff and so on. We used to have on the Smug website, there used to be a thing where things that had been uploaded that day would show up on a page, and people would go and look at it. People that, you know, and then they would see there's something of mine that I had done, and they really liked it, and they would click on it, and then they could go to my website and stuff. And that's how I used to actually sell stuff, aside from you know, handing out my business cards and telling people about my website. That was really how it was. And then Smugmug stopped doing that page, and so there's no way for people to know unless they specifically know to go to your website. Because I haven't been very good about promoting myself and not really worried about that at this point, it hasn't really been a source of sales for me at this time, and that's kind of fine with me. But you are paying money on an annual basis or every monthly basis for not selling anything, but having a community that you can enjoy. So that's kind of where I am with that. Can I? Yes,
Judith, what's your cost?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
I'm told I can't really talk very much longer, so, anyway, features I wish Smugmug had, the thing is that daily page that I was talking about. And, the fact you could develop, relationships with your customers and get to know other people and so on. And because they're not doing that anymore, that's a disappointment to me. The cost, there are 3 different levels. There's one called Direct, which is $20 a month and is billed annually. And you can upload photos, but you have a limited number of templates possible. You can't sell anything. So it really is a way to show your work. And for some people, that's exactly the way it should be. That's what they want to do. Portfolio is $23.50 a month, billed annually. And you can have unlimited uploads. You can sell from the website, and there's many customizable web templates. So that's really probably a better one if you really are wanting to promote your business and so on. And then there's what they call Pro, which I don't think even existed when I first joined. $37 a month, and it's got, I guess, all kinds of frills. I haven't even really looked into it a lot. You can have customizable price lists. So this is a price list for this one, this price list for someone else. Obviously, that's not something that I'm really very interested in doing. So advice when considering development of a website. I think it's important for you to know what it is that you want the website to do for you. Do you just want to show off your work? Do you want to send people to your website, or are you trying to promote a large business out of it? So lots of different things. Choose one that's easy to work with, unless you're really a computer tech type person. Consider the cost. It is an investment in your business, which is good, but you have to be realistic about what you can afford. And choose only your best photos to show, organized so they're easy to find, and the site is easy to navigate. So that's pretty much my advice on that. I will say that I've not always done just my very best photos, because some of those bird photos aren't that great, but it's the only one I got, so I'll do that and so on. So you have to really work with what it is you want for your website to do for you, and that's what I suggest. Okay.
Judith?
Thanks.
Judith? Before you go?
Yeah.
What labs are available through?
Bay Photo is one. There's another one, I can't remember the name of it. I had signed up with Bay Photo, and I had heard that there was a third one, but I haven't really looked into it. But Bay Photo's pretty, kind of the best round as far as I'm concerned. And so I wanted to make sure that it would be good quality prints that would be made for people that are ordering it. So they're also a little bit more expensive, obviously, because they are, but they will turn out a really good product.
Judith, did that also include registering a domain name, like you had Sparhawk Photography or whatever? Does that include that also?
You do your domain name separately.
Oh, okay.
Like they do it through GoDaddy.
Mhm.
It's like $12 $5 or something. It's not really expensive to do.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay. We'll have time for more questions, at the end,
Yeah.
but next, we're gonna bring Russ up. Ready to click? Want me to click?
Yeah, you can go. Are they gonna hear me okay? Yeah, let's go ahead. I can read this better from here than I can from that computer screen. Okay. So I chose Art Storefront. One of the reasons why I did it was recommended to me by some other photographers for people who really wanted to sit there and sell their photography. On Lightroom currently right now, I've offloaded a bunch of my images, but the current count on my Lightroom is like 290,000 images that are cataloged, so. And a lot of them aren't very good, so, I'll say that. But, I'm very, I consider myself an enthusiastic amateur photographer because I don't make 50% of my income in photography, so they won't consider me a pro, at least for competitions. But anyway, someone recommended that, and it was a considerable chunk of money I put up. I think it's important so we can make a little money on the side, pay for equipment, pay for places we want to go. But Art Storefront does push you to do certain things. So if you really want to make money off your website, it's not just your website that you have to do. You got to send stuff off of Facebook, Instagram, etc. You've got to use the social media that's out there to sit there and show your work. It's a way of just, what do you want to do with all the photos you take? You just want them to sit on a computer? I like to use my photos to motivate other people to see the good in the world and do catchy sayings with that. It can lift people's, out of the gutter, so to speak. But again, I'm an enthusiastic person, and they do give excellent support on weekly seminars, helping you. They want to help you sell more photography. And after you go through the initial setup, which I think is 3 years, you pay $18.75 is what they're promoting right now for Art Storefront. After that expires after 3 years, it's $600 per year. They also want you to sign up for other things that can help you further promote and now that we've got AI, there's other things they can also help you with too. Okay. This is my website. If you go to russell-trezera.photography, that's my website. I guess I'm gonna go walk in front over here. This is easier. This is the page that you see up on the top. These are the different settings that I currently have right now where I like doing portraits. I've been working real hard on that. I like doing landscapes, wildlife, flowers, photos of sayings. Under landscape, you'll break it down like this. They do have different templates that you can select and do. Go ahead and go to the next one. It also gives you an opportunity, depending on the size of your photograph, they have a large volume of different size prints you can do off the website. Okay. I'll go back. Sorry. You can start as small as a 3x5, but they recommend that you only put certain ones down there. And the thing is, 8x10, an 8x10 will be about $15-20 if you mark it up 250%. Well, do you want your photography out there looking like, hey, this is really nice stuff? Do you want to see $20 for a photo like this? Or this is a 48x32? That's their markup that they go ahead and do, and they give you your profit back. And you can, I chose Bay Photo to send out the prints on. They print them up and send me money from there. Okay, go ahead. Again, another picture. You can also not only pick the paper, but you also have a lot of different other things that you can do. Like, hey, you want to do a tote bag, you want to do a mug, or whatever else, you can do that also. Go ahead. Let's see. Also, along with that, I think that's a duplicate.
Yeah,
there we go. One of the other things they offer though on the website is a way of people to sit there and picture your art in their living room or maybe above their desk, okay, to where you can do, and it will show different sizes. Like this is the largest size that you can do on that print. Some of your prints, if your images are small, you're not gonna be able to go very large, so you have to look at that when you upload the images. Go ahead. Again, looking at an office or a room, you can sit there, you can picture what your artwork's gonna look like. Okay, go ahead. You can also change the color of the background rather than having white. You can pick many colors from that. And then these are the different type of templates that are available. They have a large variety of them. It just depends on how you want to show your work. Okay. And again, you have to go through, and most of you either can do here warehouse originals where you're doing fine art to where you have a limited amount going out. You can just do an open warehouse where you just sell your prints, and you can do it like that, and there's no set number on them. But then you go through and you upload your images in the various areas, and you go through and edit them. Go to the next one. And you go ahead and sit there and describe it, what you're putting in there, and the info and so on. And there's a lot of stuff to being able to get this website going, but once you've got it up and running and you understand it, it becomes a little bit easier. I find it a little difficult from time to time. Go ahead. Because I don't do enough on it. Also, it allows you to go ahead and do a logo. So if you go to my website, I had someone design my logo that says West Frazero Photography. And I put that on my Lightroom editions and other things like that. And you see some of the other images that are on the website too. And add products. Go ahead. Again, you go back and decide, like I said, you can sit here and select a variety of images that will come up that whatever your picture is, these are the different sizes you can put up there. It depends on how large of an image you do. And then also you can sit there and decide what type of material you want to put it on. Canvas, metal, they can select that. Some of the stuff is more expensive than just doing a photo luster print. I like photo luster, it's cheap. Okay. And then you can also have them framed too. Go ahead. Things I wish AS had, I wish I had done more research before I jumped into it. But since I'm into it now, it's like when you buy your camera body, you buy your lenses while you're kind of into it. I did this mostly because of the fact that I wanted to be able to show my work to other people and have them an opportunity. I find it's very useful rather than trying to do things on my iPad or my phone and show pictures that way. I find it's easier just to go to the website, here's some of my work, or I give them my business card. So, oh, go take a look at some of my work. You know, people see you walking around with 2 cameras. What do they think? Oh, you're a photographer. If they ask you if you're a photographer and you got 2 cameras on you, tell them, yes, I'm a photographer. Don't tell them if you're good or bad, but just tell them. Again, oh, go back. There we go. So right now they're running a special. I saw it today. It's $18.75. They did $3,000 for 3 years, $600 per year after that. So it's pricey, but they will push you. If you follow their program, you will be able to sell your photography. It's good. And I'll tell you what, I've seen much of your work that a lot of you have done out there. You got really good stuff. I just want to tell you that. Okay. All right. And you can do that. When you consider activating and doing a website, things that you have to do, you can go see my About Me page. I had AI help write it for me. It did a really good job. And if you go there, you'll see. The only thing I need to add about it is that the people in Victorville are really good. They're great for photography. That's, you know, a lot of people make money doing portraiture. Okay. You got to create a logo. Consider a theme in your area of expertise. Big thing about websites is limit your images to about 24 images. When people go to your website to look at them, after they look at 24 images, they're almost done. So that's just focus on Facebook and Instagram, set aside time to work your website. It's a job. If you don't want a job, then just enjoy photography. Okay, any questions? Any thoughts?
I have a
Okay.
question for you, Russ.
What?
I was wondering, at your best time, what kind of income were you generating? I know it's probably a side stream of income, because I know you're a realtor as well. But, what has been like one of your best years on there, would you say, like monthly average? If you don't mind asking.
It sucks.
Oh,
Hard enough, okay? That's the honest answer. I like spending a bunch of money on photography. I would say the best place I've found so far to sell some of my work has been Redlands Art Association. I'll sell about 4 or 5 prints there a year. I really haven't sold anything off my website. The biggest picture I've sold was a 72 by 20. And my sister-in-law bought it because I gave her a good price on it. But you know, the only problem with it, it sits in her bedroom above her headboard. No one will ever know that I did a print that big, 72 inches by 20. It was a nice panel, very nice, but and I gave it to her at, by the way, Arts at Bay Photos price. You can do your own work and you don't have to sell them for as much money. Yeah, I give a lot of my work away as a way of showing people about my photography. If they like a picture, where is Mike Livingston? Is he here? I gave Mike we were at Redlands Art Association and Mike said he really liked the picture I had of the Milky Way, right?
Yes.
And so I told him if I didn't sell it at the association, I would give it to him. But what I got off of it was a picture of Mike holding my work. Satisfied customer. I tell people you gave it away, but I like happy people. So, those are some of the things you could do. Okay. But I'm working on it. I was sitting here this evening working on making sure I had my images sized up. And they got recommendations. They will help you so you can make money in selling your work.
Okay.
I also do it for another reason. Like my portraiture, I've been working on that. People like to, have you come out and do portraits and pictures of them, and do a session with them. And that's the way you generate money with people. But if they can see your work, like on the portraits on your website, you go to my website, look at my portraiture work, and tells you how good you are. Okay,
Thank you, Russ.
sorry.
Oh, no, you actually. Okay, I use a platform called Zenfolio. And I actually was on Art Storefront up until a month ago, and I went to Zenfolio. And I really liked Art Storefront. I'm a very, very particular about customer service, and I do not do business with anybody who has poor customer service. Art Storefront has really good customer service, and so does Zenfolio. The only reason why I switched is because I felt Zenfolio spoke more to the clients I wanted to serve, and more to photography than per se wall art. So I pivoted from into doing portraiture work. And so it's a service instead of wall art. And I think Zenfolio helped me to put things together in more of a service format than in selling art kind of format. So that's the main reason why I switched. But once I got into it, I love it. It's super simple. It's user friendly, and it just makes it makes the business of photography easy. So this is my website. When you log in, this is what you see. And like all the other ones, there's several different templates that you can use. But this is the home page. I have some rotating images, a little bit about original images, which is the business name I'm using. And then the 3 types of portraits that I offer: people portraits, pet portraits, and life portraits, which are actually digital stories. They can have a free phone consultation that's connected directly to my calendar. If somebody clicks on it and my calendar is open, it sends me an email and I know that I can go and give them a call, drop an email, looking forward to meeting you and our conversation. There's some quotes from previous clients, and then follow me on Instagram, which I'm really bad at keeping up. But I give the clients a lot of ways to find out what I do. So there's my homepage, there's the offerings, people, pet, portraits. If they click on offerings, there's this. There's also down here at the end of the page, people, portraits, pets. So there's all kinds of ways that they can find me. I have gift cards. If anybody wants to buy a gift, original images services, they can buy a gift card and use it for whatever they want. And then my clients, they have, they put in their email and the password that I gave them, and they can access their own private gallery online where they can heart a picture, comment on a picture, or just purchase a picture. And it's private to them. So I'm not always involved in the sales. They can just purchase it. I kind of like I like the feedback from clients. So often I will have them heart the image that they like and then have follow-up conversation with them. And I like placing the order for them because this is why. Almost all the websites that offer the chance to sell something, they take a percentage. Okay. And for Zenfolio, I think it's 7%. And then I use a book me feature, which is all the calendar, automatic calendar stuff. That's 2%. So, or 3%. You're looking at 10% of your sales right away going to, the support of the product, the platform that you're using. And that's pretty much typical with any of them. So if I go into people portraits, this is what it looks like. You have the images here. If you click on one, you can go into a slide view mode and look at them. And if you go to pet portraits, it's set up pretty much the same way, except with this, because it's not so complicated as people portraits. I also have down below the package price, and they can just go ahead and click on book after they acknowledge the process and the package. And so when they book it, then I can follow up with them and say, looking forward to our shoot, blah, 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 blah. And so again, it's putting a lot on the website that's just kind of automatic, which I really like. If you set it up that way, you don't have to set it up that way. And then the same for life portraits. These are actually short videos that I work with clients on, and I have 2 packages for that. And so they can just come here and book as long as it's opened on my calendar. So in the background, I tell them I could do 2 portraits a day, and I give a block of time. As long as one's not taken, then the other one's open. So let's take a look at what it looks like behind the scenes. This is really why I went, or one of the things what I really, really love about Zenfolio. This is your working space over here. Screen right. That's your working space. It's always there. All your navigation when you need to change something and do something, it's on the far left. It's over here. I want to edit life portraits. I click on life portraits. Here's my page. You never leave this one site, this one page. It's so simple to do. My previous platform, I was doing a lot of clicking back and forth, and I found it a lot more disconnected. But this I find very easy to use. And if you wanted to see, I only have 5 minutes. If you wanted to see what my client gallery looks like, this is a gentleman, he's building a toy box for his grandson. And when he gives them the toy box, he wants to give them a picture of him making the toy box. So this is what it looks like to my clients in their private gallery. Greg's Toy Box, that's the name of it. So he can come in, you can see the shopping cart, you can place a picture in the shopping cart, you can just love an image if he likes it, or you can leave a comment, like, you know, I really like this image, but could you, whatever. And so we can communicate back and forth within that private client gallery. Okay, so let's go back to the slides real quick. Pros, great customer service. That's my #1 requirement. Again, specializes in photography. It's very user-friendly platform. They have a really good selection of vendors. I was with Bay Photo, now I am with Miller's Lab, which I really like. They do excellent work. Zenfolio has maybe a selection of 6, 7 different vendors. They have modern templates, and the Book Me service was a big one. Again, it's just connected to my calendar and they can book me. They have price lists that you can use if you want, in terms of, you know, how much does a portrait session cost or a pet portrait session cost, and then you can just tweak the template from there. The Lightbox view, which I demonstrated, straightforward billing. This is very simple billing. Again, sometimes on previous platforms I've been on, there was, you know, I wanted to do XYZ. Well, that's an extra cost. I wanted to do ABC. Well, that's an extra cost. Not with Zenfolio. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. There's no email bombardment, so you will not get a bunch of emails from Zenfolio, which I'm very thankful for because I get too many. Oh, and it's a very caring corporation. So when COVID hit, the CIOs didn't take any salary home for 6 months until they knew the company would be stable. And they are really good at providing professional development opportunities for their staff. So I don't know, it doesn't help in my sales, but it's a good company and that's important to me. This is what it costs for me. I have a professional plan and the Book Me, which was $96 extra. So it's $27 a month, you know, which is pretty standard. I think I was paying, well, the initiation fee for Art Storefront was around $3,000, but then after that, you average it out, it's about $30 a month. So, you know, it's pretty comparable. The advanced one is you get everything in professional that you get in advanced, you just get more storage space in advanced, but I haven't needed more storage space. And if I do, I will close a client's gallery, put it on my hard drive, and create some more space. A couple of features I wish Zenfolio had. Art Storefront is really good at community user groups. You can chat with other artists and other web developers. That's great, and I miss that. Zenfolio says they're working on these 3 items, so I hope that's true.
NationalDebtRelief.com to get started.
That I have on my website.
Mystery Round is brought to you by.
If I wanted to use a very similar block of information on another page, I just kind of have to build it from scratch. I can't like copy it as a template and put it on another page. So that would be a nice feature to have. And then the gift card system, I had to really kind of do some workarounds for that because they don't have a gift card system in place. So anybody buys a gift card, 10% of that cost goes back to the company because they don't have the gift card system in place yet. But again, they said they're working on it. So let's see. Advice when developing websites, pretty much everything that Russ and Judith has already shared with you. Know your purpose, know your audience. Like I knew I was pivoting into portraiture and that's going to be my audience, total different service focus. And how much support do you need? That's going to be important, customer support. Again, like Russ said, it's a job. You're going to need lots of time to build a site, to be intentional about it. get organized, you know, with your images, have clear messaging, of course, be consistent with your branding. And get feedback from your family, your friends. And one word of advice, Adobe Portfolio for anybody who has Adobe Creative Cloud, it's free. It's a great way to kind of get organized. This is my website when I first started. And this is my people portraits and my pet portraits. And so it's a really good way just to get organized with how you want to present your work. And it's free if you already have Adobe Creative Cloud, but you can't sell on it. Okay, it's more of a portfolio.
Well, you don't have to be on the cloud to do that. Adobe includes it as far as your Lightroom and Photoshop subscription. Where
Right,
you can
right.
set up your own portfolio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's included. So questions about Zenfolio? Yes,
What was the book me again?
the book me, that's when my client can click on a button that says free consultation,
Oh, and it's
Or
built into your calendar,
pick a portrait session, or, yeah, and it just goes,
but you pay separately for that.
yeah, $96 a year.
Real quick, you know, in your booking sessions that you do for people doing their life story, do you have a set price that you work at per hour?
No, it's a package price.
And what do you do for the package?
I have to look at my websites. But I think it's $325 and $425, depending on if I'm teaching them how to do it or if I'm doing it for them.
I think for the pet package, I think it's in $290, and then you get like 4 8x10 prints.
Yeah, and that's very typical. It seems like that if you're doing portraiture work, you also include some prints in the package price. Of course, with the option to purchase more. Yeah. Okay, so I think we're gonna start. We're doing good on time.
Good, good. Yeah, I'm gonna try to talk fast because 10 minutes goes by real quick. I was kind of in the same situation as Russ was. I'd be out shooting photos somewhere, and because I had my camera on a tripod and shooting, people would be coming up, "Hey, how you doing?" and start talking photography, and then they kept asking if I had a website. And pretty soon I was like, I should get a website. So I started searching around and I came across Fine Art America. And I actually started it in 2015. And I made it real simple, photographybyrickstrobaugh.com. I even carry business cards with me. So when people come up, "Hey, you got a website or whatever?" I give them one of my cards that they could go in later and look at the pictures. So 2015, I've had just over 98,000 views. And when you submit pictures into the website, you can put words and stuff like that that'll trigger your photos coming up different areas. Like a lot of times clouds, mountains, Buffalo or Sedona, Glacier National Park, where all of a sudden the pictures will pop up somehow. But it works out pretty well. I've got right now about 450 pictures in different categories. You don't just open it up and you got a whole string of photos. You've put in different categories. Or collections, like I've got Iceland, California coast, Joshua Tree, Sedona, Yosemite, waterfalls and streams, flowers, seascapes, landscapes, wildlife, and a couple others. So people that are looking for a specific thing, they can click on that link and it'll open up fit pictures from that area. And will initially open up to, a whole group of smaller pictures, but then they click on any one of those pictures and it opens to a bigger picture. And then if they really want to look close at it, you take your cursor across that photo and you see this green box move around. Put that anywhere on there, click on that, and it zooms in right to that spot. So they can get a real good view. So there's a lot of options. Most of them are like 30, 40 pictures in each collection. And that way it's not overwhelming. And if they're looking for specific things, hey, I like Sedona, I'd like to see some pictures from Sedona. They don't have to look through a whole couple hundred pictures, picking out ones that may be Sedona. They click on Sedona, there it is, or Yosemite or Glacier or whatever. And what's neat too, I can go in, log in and go into the site and look at each picture that I want. And it'll tell me how many times that picture has been viewed overall, when I initially downloaded it. And it also, when people are opening and looking at it, they've got a lot of options, the different sizes, different types of photography, metal prints, wood prints, all sorts of different things, plus a lot of different stuff, coffee mugs, robes, shower curtains, what else we got here, tote bags, yoga mat, a notepad, pillowcases, t-shirts, bedspread. So they've got a lot of different stuff that they can wind up putting that picture on if they want. And the way that Fine Art America works it on what you make, when I go through initially download the photo, I go through each one of those items, each size, everything like that for whatever it is. They indicate what their price is. And then I put my price of what I want to make on it. So if their price is $50 overall, and I say, well, for this one, I'm going to make 20. Next one, 25, next one, 30 or whatever, different sizes. That just adds on to it for a total price. So whoever buys it at a total price. And it's nice, Fine Art America then takes care of everything. They take the order, they have it printed, they have it shipped, everything. Then they send me my 20 or 25 or 50 or whatever I established. So it works out pretty easy because I knew there's no way in the world I've got the time to be going on Instagram, Facebook, all these different areas, different things, promoting my website. So I use it primarily for sharing. Because, I mean, you can't believe how many times people come up, hey, do you have a website? I can look at your pictures. And yeah, here it is. I give them my card or give them my website and everything like that. And then they can go in and look at them. And that's why, like I said, I've got over 98,000 views in 11 years. So it works out pretty good. I don't promote it a lot. So I just sell pictures here and there. Imagine if I really wanted to, I could go up and start really promoting it on Instagram and doing all sorts of stuff. What I'd like to do is get back to a gallery. I was up at the gallery up at Big Bear Village for a couple of years. And during the tourist season, when they got a lot of people up there, I was selling over $1,000 worth of photos a month. And it was nice up there because you had your wall, you had your pictures, and then a price sheet, and people would come up, oh, I like this picture, I want to get it in this size, and they'd go up, pay for it. The owner would send me their name, address, phone number, what picture they wanted, what size they wanted, what finish they wanted, and then I would then get a hold of usually Bay Photo, or I've got another guy that does my printing down in San Juan Capistrano, and boom, it'd be shipped to their house, which made it great for tourists. I don't have room to put a 20 by 30 metal print in my luggage to fly back to Texas. So this way they could order it, boom, it'd be shipped right to their house. Worked great. So I'd like to find I left there after a couple of years because the owner just got to be too much of a
pain.
What do you call a female dog?
Woman with
Very,
a mind.
very controlling, changing my prices all the time, doing all sorts of stuff. And finally, I've had enough, I'm leaving. But I'd like to find a gallery again, because that's a lot of fun. Have people come in and want to buy your picture and put it up on their wall and pay money for it. So it worked out pretty well. Also, with Fine Art America, every week I get a summary of what pictures have been viewed for that week. And they'll show my picture, and down below how many views for that week, 25, 30, whatever, 10. And also the most recent, what country they're from. And literally, I get these views from all over the world, many countries I've never even heard of before. So whatever process that hits on those words that I put in is popping up all over the world. And people can, I've got several people, number of people that are followers, and they can also leave comments or anything like that for the photos. But it's neat to be able to divide it out into certain categories in these collections, and they can bring them up. And if I see, hey, this picture is, but when I go through, I went through a few months ago and started just deleting some of the older photos or ones that hadn't been seen, quite as much as others, and then download a bunch of new photos, and then boom, those were getting hits like crazy. So yeah, I'm at about 450 photos right now. I think that's it's neat getting the weekly notification of what people are looking at. And it usually, especially if I downloaded a bunch of new ones, a lot of times those are the ones that are popping up all over the place.
Are there features you wish it had?
Pardon me?
Features that you wish it had?
I like I said, promoting it. I wish it promoted more through there, but I'm sure they got customers all over the world that are in there. I just got, if I really wanted to sell through them, I got to go out and start promoting myself and selling. But yeah, everything, and 30 bucks a year. That's it.
Look at all those pencils writing down.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you remember Woody. Used to be a member many years ago. He made good money off of that Fine Art America. That's kind of where I got the idea. But he went in and did the promoting and everything like that. I just don't find I have the time to be getting on Instagram and Facebook and all this and putting my pictures up and doing this and trying to get everybody in the world to look at it. But again, making it easy to navigate with the collections. I want to see landscapes, click, boom, there's landscapes. I want to see California coastline, boom, there it is. Iceland, boom, there it is. They come up real quick and easy. And again, don't just put crap up there. Put your best stuff up there. I know when I'm going through Facebook and I see someone that's downloaded 45 photos. I'll look at the ones that are open, I see right there, and I go to the next item. There's no way I'm scrolling through 45, 30 some photos. So put your best photos up there. Also in the comments on each photo, you tell where it is. What the area is, what the national park, the state, or whatever, and tell where it is so people get a good idea of the photo that they're getting and where it was shot at. That is it.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay.
Steve.
Can you hear me if I'm over here? Or do you want me over there?
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, you did.
I'm not Fine Art America. So different than all the rest of them. 500px for me is something that I've used for a long time. Is more of a storage and information for me than it is for making any money. I think I made 36 cents last year selling stock photos. I was totally not interested in it at all. And finally I decided this year I'd pay attention and look at it a little closer. So 500px has a couple of different ways you can get to it. One of them is the portfolio, like a web page that you can have as many galleries as you want, like any website. So up at the top, you'll see it has galleries. You can go through the galleries and see images when you get into the gallery, like most websites. It has a section about me. You can look at this in your free time. We're getting close on time. Has a little section about me, not too much, but a little bit. It has contact information about how to get hold of me on the right-hand side. And then it has links that take you back to either 500px and my website that I upload from, or to my, I think it's Instagram site, so we can go look at Instagram. I'm a social media person, so most of my work takes place on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and places like that. I'm not necessarily on this, but all right, I'm forcing myself. So, next slide. It's relatively easy to work with these two websites that work together. It's inexpensive. That was important to me because I want to be able to play with it. Easy to use. One of the features it has that I needed personally was that it keeps track on each image of all of my camera settings. And I found that nice to know what camera did I use when, what were the settings, did I learn anything about what to do next time when I take that kind of information? So it's basically to teach me, even though they can all see it. Unlimited, uncompressed images, so you can put up there the biggest file you want to put up there. It will add its own logo, or you can add your own logo. For years, I used my own logo. Then I decided that's too much work, so I let them put the 500px logo. It has good statistics. Much like what you had on Fine Art America, I'll show you in a minute. Good statistics, and it lets me connect with other photographers. Not as easily as something like Fine Art America, but there is a chat feature that I can go connect with once if I really want to spend more time at it. Next slide. So basically, when you look at it, here are the things on the list of things I can do that you would see in a menu. Gives you the various categories that I've chosen, about me, contact information, and then 500px, and my Instagram. Next slide. Next slide. The other part of this website is the one that's not a website in the sense it's not my portfolio. It's where I stock all my stuff, which is useful because we're always losing our drives, our hard drives, and our stuff that we put in virtual space. And I don't know, we forget, right, where things are. We didn't label it correctly or keyword or something. So I find this useful for me to help me, much like Judith, find that picture that I lost, and I need to find it again, and I got to download it, and I don't remember or whatever. So this helps me do that. So this, now you can click on this one. So this particular version, all these pictures that are here, I can put in my portfolio. But why would I do that? Nobody's going to look at all of them, including me. So the portfolio is something I keep live. I move pictures around, I add and I subtract from it. Coming from here, where I've kept them in the first place in galleries, labeled a little bit differently, but I've kept them there in these galleries so that I can go find them again if I need them. Next. So as I said to you earlier, with your image, by the way, that is a pygmy owl that I found this last week up in the Sierras. Very hard owl, it's like this big, sitting in a tree that you can't even figure out where he is, but terribly interesting to have found him. Anyway, so it gives you all of these statistics. Now I've told it something about location. I try not to be too specific about location because, you know, it's a wildlife and you don't want to give away your sources, but on the other hand, I have to have a clue where to look in my files. And it will give me information about all of this down here is about my camera settings. It'll give information about how many people have clicked on it, and when I uploaded it. Next. Uploading is reasonably easy. The one is never easy to do for any website. Fortunately, it gets all of this, most of this information off of the SD card when I upload it, so I don't have to think about going in and giving it all my camera settings. It figures it out. If I put that correctly into my camera, into my SD card in the beginning, I'll have to upload the image, I'll have to put what category, I'll have to give it a name. It gives me a whole selection of keywords. I can choose those or not because sometimes they're irrelevant. I can add my own keywords. And all of that seems to be pretty useful. I then add it, once I've uploaded it, I can add it to a gallery. That's on this piece of that's not my web page, right? It's on my portfolio page. It's just the normal page that I have various galleries. Okay. Then from there, if I decide I want to put it in my portfolio, it's very easy to do, sort of. I go over to my portfolio and then I say, go get that picture out of that gallery that was on the other one. So as long as you don't have too many pictures and you don't know where they are, you're okay, you can do that. You move it from one to the other. Move it and copy it from one to the other. Okay. As I say, it gives you all sorts of statistics. It tells you how many times you've had it punctured, how many times you've gotten some kind of rating. It does not tell you the country you got it from, but my Fine Art America told me I had a whole bunch from the UK today, which made sense because they were all wildlife pictures. How many likes and so on that you have. So it's kind of interesting. I don't use that too much, but it's kind of interesting to know that. It also gives you by day, when were people really looking the most often? You all know that you post in the morning because early in the morning, all the world is looking at your stuff. By the time you go to bed, nobody's paying attention. 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, if you look, people are looking at your stuff again. Okay, right?
Someplace it was.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting as a stat. Next. Cost, I told you it was cheap. It really is cheap. For unlimited, do all this stuff, it's about $120 a year over here on the right. $60 again a year gives you pretty much the same kind of thing, depends upon whether you're interested in playing games. So you can play the contest for the Pulse rewards and enter the Pulse competitions. Not my thing, but you can do that and you win whatever one wins. Or you can get the free version. It limits the number you can upload by day, but you can still do it and you can still build your portfolio and not your portfolio, your website, your web galleries. So things I wished it had was something other than selling stock photos, because I think that's kind of a dead duck for the most part. They do use Getty images. And if you get really good, you can be really on the Getty Images website. I'm not that good because I'm too lazy, but maybe I'll get there this year. But an e-commerce feature would be nice. The uploading from how do I explain, my galleries to my portfolio is a little awkward, so I wish they would fix that to make it easier to find in my galleries to put on my portfolio. Getty Images is owned by the Chinese. 500px is owned by the Chinese. So there's been all this discussion about, am I giving away my work to China? Well, thus far, Pixie has not found, is it Pixie? Pixie has not found that my images are being swiped by the Chinese, but that's always a risk. Next. Advice. So find what fits your need. My need was not selling through my website and doing services and so on. That's not what I was looking to do with it. I might think about that twice now, but at the time that was not it. What's your budget? How much do you want to spend a year? Honestly, free is not worth much. So paying $100 or so a year seemed about right for what I wanted to do and be able to store unlimited numbers of things and fool around with it. What are your technical skills? This doesn't require too much, but it does require some. And update it regular to make it interesting. So on that portfolio side, I change things around and I don't put too many pictures in each section on my portfolio. Because like Rick said, after 10, they stop looking. So pick 10. Are they necessarily your best? It doesn't seem to matter. What matters is they're good pictures, they're a variety of pictures. If I was really clever, I would brand myself. But I'm not clever. So I have architecture and landscapes and wildlife and monochrome and so too many categories to really make this serious as a selling feature. That's it.
Okay, thank you. So I'm sure there's other platforms that all of you have used. What's another one that someone has used that we have not talked about yet?
Instagram.
Instagram.
I can
By
tell
the-
you about that.
By the way, I think Russ, with Art Storefront, at least when I was using it, if you upload a image to Instagram, it automatically populates your Facebook. So that's kind of nice.
And threads. And those kind of
You know, I think, you know, if, I wish we had had this discussion back when I was considering setting up my website. Because I think it's given everybody a wide breadth of different places that you can market your photos that you want to do or how you want to present it to other people. And I think it's been a very good discussion. I'm glad that you did it tonight, Cheryl. I don't know if it was your idea or Heidi's idea, but we're very nice this evening. And I think it was a good discussion. Do we have other discussions, questions?
Well, you were asking about other websites. I use Square Up, not Square, the website maker, but Square Up, the credit card taker. They have a free website that you get. You have to do all the work yourself, and if somebody does place an order, it's 3.75%, but then I have to go get it made and ship it myself. So, or I get it made and have them ship it. So it's a little more manual work, but I like the price of free.
So it's not to be confused with Squarespace.
That is correct. It is not Squarespace, it's Square Up.
I have a question for Bruce, like what website is our club website using?
We aren't using any of those because we're not trying to sell any of our work. But
What?
it is a WordPress website
Oh, okay.
on DreamHost,
Okay.
if that helps.
Yes, Kurt.
So that's funny that you mentioned that, Bruce, because I use DreamHost and use WordPress on all my websites now. My first website was in 1994, and I don't know how many different sites and domains I moved over the years, but I love DreamHost.
I'm a huge fan.
There, you get everything at unlimited, whatever you want.
But that's different from hosting it than having a platform.
Yeah,
It's apples and oranges, but
yes.
I totally agree with you.
And WordPress is not too bad to use, but a lot of people complain about it, and they're much happier on something like Zenfolio or those sorts of drag and drop sites. But I also use Imagely as a portfolio software that works in conjunction on my DreamHost website. It's actually part of WordPress. It integrates with WordPress. Total cost is about $300 a year for both those. I think DreamHost for a full account is like $160 a year or something. But you're basically a system administrator on it. So I wouldn't recommend it for everybody by any means. In fact, I kind of describe it as kind of user assistant. But Cheryl and I have talked about this before. But
Yeah, you scared me. I went over to Zenfolio.
One thing I would encourage people to do, actually two things. One is you want to have kind of informed consent when you're making these decisions. And one thing to do is to plug your potential provider into Google and just type issues after it and just see what comes up. I strongly do not recommend GoDaddy for all kinds of reasons. The main one being that they nickel and dime you to death. Let's see, and then the second thing, I forgot because I'm getting really old and that just happens.
Well, you're gonna stick around because we are at time, so, thank you to our panelists, thank you to all of you for the question.
Write down what you found helpful, Alex, and you can bring them back to me.